Good evening and welcome everyone to WebDM Twitch, the land between two rivers. Although today I suspect we might be going to a different place than the usual desolate world that we find ourselves on. How is everyone tonight out there in Twitch land and wherever you find yourself, maybe watching later? I hope that you find yourself well. Let's go ahead and get to our player introductions. Then we'll see where tonight's adventure takes us. Lindy, how are you doing?
I'm doing spiffy. I had to find the unmute button. I am doing super awesome. I was so sad to have missed last week, but I was able to watch y'all's shenanigans afterwards. And now I shouldn't miss anything for months because D&D is my life and I am ready to continue it. I'll be playing Mer Valentine, the awesome tiefling bard who, might or may not be excited about where we're going.
Excellent. Yes, I think the team could have used Mer's talents last week, but I don't know. I think that we're gonna find she comes in handy today as well. TK, I hope that the week hasn't been too rough for you as we figure out what happens to Ikki.
Nah, I took it out on my players on Tuesday, so it was fine. Nice. I will let you know I came here fully prepared to cry myself to sleep tonight, so
I hope nothing bad happens. Yeah. We'll see.
Had to change my whole identity.
Oh, so, no.
Yeah. Playing Ikki, the lizard folk ranger that is taking a nice warm vacation right now.
Yeah. Well, I think that I don't know. We'll see where the dice fall and where things go, but I think that at the very least you're prepared for the worst. So there you go.
Yeah.
Right. Josh, how are you, brother?
I'm pretty good, Jim. How are you?
I'm all right. Yeah, actually, it's really good. It's been a big week for us at WebDM, but yeah, here we are playing what's fast become my favorite time of the week to get to play with you guys.
Absolutely. Yeah, and Baloo's ready too. He's ready to find all of his companions. He might be the most caring person in the party, so I figure he has to step up right now.
Yeah, is to let his compassion call him to action.
That's true. Ellie's awfully sweet.
That's true. That's right.
I shouldn't discount Ellie.
Right. And speaking of Ellie, Anna, how are you tonight?
Hello, I'm doing fine. I'm pretty excited for D&D and tonight, so it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be playing Ellie. She is a level 3 variant human barbarian.
Well, you guys should be level 4 now.
Oh, just kidding.
Okay.
I am 4.
All
I
right.
didn't update it on the number on my.
Gotcha.
Kidding. I was testing you, so you passed.
I appreciate it. I always like it when players keep me on my toes. And Grant, you knew I was going to end with you because I got to see what you're bringing this week. How are you, my man?
You know, WebDM Jim, here in the land between two rivers, my goblin cleric makes every spine start to shiver, and he leaves all the ladies' lips a quiver. For all those who think these promos are getting old, just remember that around my waist, it's 12 pounds of solid gold. Tonight we're going to cast spells, raid all 9 hells, take names of every devil and every demon, and leave every fan our names a-screaming. I want all you Grant maniacs watching on the Twitch and reading on the Twitters to know that when Bad Boy Grant is in the building, woo! Showtime!
Hell yeah. All right. This is WebDM Twitch, and we are here playing The Land Between Two Rivers. If you like what we do, if you enjoy us, and you also happen to be one of the 50% of American households that have Amazon Prime, then we would love to have your free Prime membership to support the channel and keep us going. And there's many other ways to show your love. We appreciate you guys with the retweets, letting your friends know, and just hanging out with us in the chat. Although I do find it distracting, but maybe I'll make an appearance there occasionally. Also, WebDM hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube this past week, and that's a big milestone for us. As a way of giving a gift to everyone who has supported us, watched us, and been with us all those for all the 3 or 4 years, however many years we've been doing it now. We want to give you a gift, and so if you go to Tabletop Loot and enter in the coupon code WebDM100K, you get a discount on your order. That is good through next Monday, I believe. So go ahead. I think you guys have crashed their site a couple of times, so and thank you from the bottom of our hearts, everyone who supported us, and we hope that we can continue to give back and create some content that you guys enjoy and brings you some happiness and adventure and inspiration in your lives. So without further ado, we find ourselves on a windswept plateau at night. The party had climbed a cliff face on the northern face of the Horn River in search of a particular portal that they believe leads to an infernal realm. While investigating the area around this portal, the party was beset upon by an invisible foe that turned out to be a cybernetic fiend of some sort. And in the struggle, it teleported away with the party's ranger, Ikki. And as the party, remember it's night, the light here is tinged from the reddish glow of the portal itself, casting everything in dim red shadows. And the party can see as they are, like, literally, we're picking up the next round's initiative order, which I'll remind everyone here in a moment. You can literally see the silhouette of the creature with Ikki in its grasp, flying through the portal. Reminder: initiative order is Ellie, Gildan, Baloo, Ikki, and DM, and I'm gonna need Myrrh to make initiative.
I was gonna say, do I need to roll initiative?
You do need to roll initiative.
I just picture Myrrh as just sitting back, arms crossed, just observing everything that happens. Yes, this is going downhill quickly. I rolled. Ooh, my initiative is 19.
I didn't record the actual initiative numbers, just the order they were in, but that sounds like it puts you between Ellie and Gildan.
Okay.
Yeah. So that'd be Ellie, Myrrh, Gildan, Baloo, and then Ikki. We'll start at the top of the initiative. Ellie, you just had grappled this thing. It was trying to fly away. You'd grabbed a wing, leveraged yourself against it, and caused it to fall before it teleported out of there. It's your turn. What does Ellie do?
Is there any trace of something you might have left behind?
There's a shadowy vapor in the air. It looks like oily smoke, very wispy and the like, but it quickly dissipates. And you can sort of, it's not really a trail of it, but you can see it around its silhouette as it gets closer to the infernal portal.
Okay. And I grab it. It's just oily, right?
Yeah, it leaves like a slimy residue briefly on your hand.
Okay. So as I try to grab this oily, shadowy thing, Ellie's just gonna be like, "Wait, Ikki? But where'd she go? She was just here. Ikki? Guys, have you seen her?"
Ding dong, the witch is dead. The wicked witch. The witch. Sorry, I couldn't resist. I'm dead. We gotta go find her. I think that thing is taking her straight towards that gate to hell.
Now, question, DM. Would I have any idea of what kind of devil this might have been? I know it was kind of cyborgy, but
yeah, it's
have I seen anything like that before?
Yeah. There's a long practice of creating sort of they're not mindless fiends, but they're sort of purposefully created for casters to summon and manipulate You know that many of the Yugoloths are like that, but there are some devils as well. Some cross between fiend and automaton, you would say.
Okay. Interesting.
But, it's a fine art amongst some of the infernal nobility.
Okay. So this is just a grunt thing that probably is working for someone much higher up. Got it.
Yeah.
I'll be like, well, it most likely is indeed taking her to hell. The good news is that is only a grunt. It is not really that dangerous. The bad news is it could be working for someone much more dangerous and higher ranking in the infernal hierarchy.
Basically. So there's still danger about. This thing stole Gildan's shadow, and Gildan's shadow is unaccounted for still. So is Ellie sort of taking a defensive posture? Or are you trying to get to the portal? What's like your action?
Yeah, so as Gildan said that he thinks that he went through the portal.
I think he's headed there.
Ikki, yeah. Ellie's gonna start running.
Okay.
Towards the portal.
The portal's not that far away. The ground's a little rocky and uneven, but it's well lit enough that you have a general idea of where you're supposed to go and avoiding the major obstacles.
Okay. Yeah. Ikki, I'll go help you and save you. She'll just.
All right. Ellie takes off, and I imagine you're pretty fast, right?
She is.
Barbarian?
I have like 30 speed.
Oh, you haven't gotten the fast moving yet.
Yeah, when you get that extra speed.
Gotcha. Still, fairly fast. And then Myrrh. So you knew all that. You see all this.
Yeah.
This,
all right.
This literally happened in like 2
Do
rounds.
I see the shadow anywhere hiding amongst?
You can make a perception check to spot the shadow.
Yeah, I'll do that. You know, you can't let your shadow get too far away unless it's dead. Then, well, you know, whatever. That would be a 17.
Yes, in fact, you see it. You see it as it kind of moves between 2 other sort of static shadows, and it looks like a sneaky little goblin shadow slinking across the ground between these 2 larger shadows.
All right, does it look like it's sneaking away, or it's just sneaking to get a better vantage point to attack?
Yeah, it looks like it's circling to get to like find one of you isolated or something like that.
Okay. Well, first, I'm going to let's shoot it with my bow. I probably shouldn't scare it off with a dissonant whisper. That would be undesirable. Or actually, how far away is it?
I would say y'all were kind of all clustered up, and it hadn't moved that far. It's about 40 feet away.
Ah, so too far to get up to. Okay. I will definitely shoot up with my bow then.
Okay.
Oh, that's not very good. That's a 13?
13 hits.
Oh, okay, nice.
Actually.
Well, I'll take it. For 7 points of damage.
Okay.
And I will be like, I believe your shadow is over here, Gildan.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh!
Skunk.
He looks great!
So they're trying to murder its creator. Which makes it Gildan's turn.
All right. I'm going to point at my shadow. How far away is it from me, roughly?
It's about 10 feet away from you.
Okay, I'm going to point at it, and a sound of a Dolores bell fill the air, and it must make a wisdom saving throw. With my little
12.
spell DC. Yeah, I think that does it with me.
Oh, passed.
Yep.
Anything happen on a miss save?
No.
Or
this
on a
was
pass save?
cantrip.
Gotcha. Does Gildan move? Do anything else?
Yeah, I move right up to engage that shadow, warhammer in hand.
Right.
And I guess my hag puppet's still flying around. I could have my hag puppet attack it.
Yes.
All right, and this is a real dice game, which I love. And I got a 21 to hit.
If you need some real dice, you should check out Tabletop Loot. Anyway.
Does a 21 hit the shadow?
A 21 hits the shadow.
Whoa.
All right. And that's 8 points of magic weapon damage.
Yes, 8 points of force damage. So this thing, you saw Mer's shot hit it. I mean, it's like hitting a spot on the ground, right? And there's a bit of something left behind, but when your hag puppet goes over, you feel it, or you see it like really connect with the shadow, and the shadow makes a comically cartoonish reaction to being smashed by the hag puppet.
Yeah, and like I'm staring at it like, what? You know, just hands up in the air, then shield and ready.
It's all like, you know.
Oh, am I like that? No. Probably.
That makes it Baloo's turn.
So Baloo he's got his purple flame blade up.
Correct.
Yep. And he just saw the teleporty thingy.
Correct, and the silhouette as well. Yes.
How far away is the shadow? Because he was right next to me when he got hit.
Correct. Yeah, you were closer up, so it's probably about 10 feet away from where you're at.
I wonder if, thematically speaking, I feel like fire should be pretty good against shadow. In fact, if I was Gandalf, I would say that absolutely.
Okay.
So I'm going to hit it.
Does the flame blade make your weapon magical?
I mean, it just does fire damage.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Although if you have resistance to fire, I ignore it.
Good to know.
Yes.
Hence the purple flame.
Hence the purple flame. Yes.
Nice.
13 to hit.
13 indeed hits as you slash up next to it, joining Gildan in combat with this creature.
We're going to kill your shadow, man. I hope that's okay.
I hope Gildan has no shadow for the rest of his life.
It's very convenient for assassinations.
Vampire!
That's true, yeah. I get a 10 fire damage.
10 fire damage. So you feel it. You feel it. Nothing really as you slash out and scrape the ground where the shadow is, and there's like another comical kind of reaction from it as it heels over and hits the something and dissipates into the same sort of oily black fog that this cyborg fiend left behind. It doesn't appear as though the shadow exists anymore.
I look behind a Gildan.
A Gildan is sans shadow.
Oh boy.
And my shield should be still illuminated. It's like, dang. It's like, oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, he's a vampire. Let's kill him.
Ellie is still has taken off running towards the portal. Does Blue do anything with the rest of your action? You have like a bonus action or something?
No, just to move my eagle's aura or fly pterodactyl's aura.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we're good. I think we know exactly where we're going. Sadly, and it's the big gaping hole in the sky.
All right.
Sphincter of death.
Ikki. You were in this thing's clutches. Sort of, it was grabbing you, I believe, by its gun arm. And Ellie had caused it to plummet to the ground. As soon as you were about to hit, this thing teleported away with you. You can feel an intense amount of heat and the smell of sulfur, brimstone as you get closer to the portal. And you pass through it into the other side. What does Ikki do?
Right now, Ikki's kind of just panicking. So she's probably still slashing at it, like, with her sickle.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can make an attack.
Yeah, but do I want to? Oh, because what if he drops me? It's like...
Yeah, you're about... So,
yeah.
as you exit the portal, the first thing you see is what looks like to you a massive lake of something. It appears to be maybe foaming or bubbling or something, but it is a clear liquid. You estimate that you're about 40 feet above the ground, and you just came out of a portal that sits between two large basalt pillars, sort of like fills the space in between them.
Okay.
Everywhere you look, it seems as though the ground is made of like ground volcanic glass or obsidian. Far in the distance beyond the lake, you see a collection of tents, a large collection of tents. But the fiend is taking you on a sort of doing a U-turn and is passing by the portal and looking like heading sort of opposite of where the tents are. That's where Ikki is right now.
Yeah, I figure he's probably flying pretty fast. So I think with all of that taken in, Ikki's going to do the thing that most lizards do whenever they freak out and are being absconded with, and that she's just going to puke. She's just
I thought you were going to say you cut off your own limb.
Yeah, I was going to say, cut off your tail. Cut off your tail.
Wish. No, a lot of them will vomit first.
All right.
If it comes to it, probably cut something off. But yeah, it's just a stream of sadness.
All right. You vomit on it. And
very warrior-like.
The creature pays it no mind. And it continues to fly through the air, making a large loop. And as it heads in the opposite direction of where you were, you see that there are large, what appear to be ash gray mountains or hills or something immediately let's call it north of the portal, and in the middle of them stands a lone tower that has a very decrepit and rundown look. The fiend is carrying you relatively low to the ground and is sort of flying between rocky outcroppings as it makes its way towards this tower.
Is anything close enough to grab?
There's some times where you're only about 20 feet off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
That's where
my arms aren't long enough.
Yeah, nothing close enough necessarily to grab, but ones in which it might not be painful if you do fall. And recall, you also have the 5 temporary hit points from the aid spell.
How about that?
Yes, I believe that's. How long does that last, Grant? Do you know? You had just cast it.
Yeah, I need to double check.
But anyway, you guys it was just cast on you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 8 hours.
Yeah. Let's see.
I've got it open. I can pull it up.
So that makes the end of mine. We'll cut back to
8 hours.
The other side of the portal, and we're out of initiative order for now. Ellie is running towards the portal. Everyone else is where they were last round.
I'm going to thorn whip Ellie and pull her back and say, no, it's too dangerous. No, I'm not doing that. But yeah, I'm running full speed trying to catch up with her.
Yeah, Mer would be like following, just because you can't let those two go off alone. It'd be bad. Kind of look at Balloon, shrug.
And I'm viewing this kind of like a race. I want to try to overtake her in speed. I'm very proud.
Okay. What's Gildan's speed?
His speed's 30.
Speed's 30. Are y'all dashing?
I
Yeah.
feel like I was.
Yeah. That sounds like an opposed athletics check to me.
That's what I'm thinking. We'll see if I gain on her.
Baloo and Myrrh. It looks as though Gildan and Ellie have decided to take this moment to race.
I got a nat 1.
Oh no! Got a 20 with my modifier.
Oh my god.
Oh.
All right. Okay, here's how this plays out.
Yeah.
Ellie's human, and lacks the refined ocular senses of her more monstrous companions, and not entirely being able to see in the dark, trips over a loose stone or piece of gravel, and Gildan zips on behind.
Torsion ant.
Oh no.
Mer would help Ellie up.
Okay.
I was so confident and just like, "Psh, I got this. I'm gonna win this race, but I also saved Ikki.
That's great. That's great. The portal isn't that far away, and through a sort of a broken rocky path, you come across a natural basin or depression in the highlands. There is a pool of some sort of liquid, as well as several broken columns surrounding the pool, and maybe 2 feet above this pool, there is a massive infernal portal swirling with a dark red, almost blood-like color.
This reminds me of that one shot we did, Jim.
Exactly. Yes.
Yes.
So you said there's bubbly liquid. Can I stick a stick in it and see if it gets dissolved? I don't
So
wanna die.
the liquid here is calm.
Oh, okay.
That's the bubbling is on the other side.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
This is a more like a pool of some kind. As you get closer to it, you can see a constructed edge, and this thing actually has a like a 2-foot little masonry wall that creates a circle in the ground, and then that's where the water is, or the liquid.
Okay. Interesting. Well,
I think it's time for us to be cops.
yes.
What's it
Yeah.
called? As I like
Couple-
brush myself off.
Well, there's many different type of cops. You can cop a feel. You
Mhm.
can, you know,
Mhm. You can cop an attitude.
you can cop an attitude. You can. Yes, it's just gonna start like etymology, I guess, explaining.
That's where I was like,
Bards. Words.
I've been lindied.
Blue is in awe of the big flashy brightness. Blue's gonna carefully make his way through the portal.
All right.
No.
Blue steps through the portal.
I'm jumping in behind him.
Like
Yeah,
guilt.
Mar would make
Guilt
sure
Okay.
that everyone gets in all right. And
All right.
jump
Leads the
in.
way.
Ellie's
We
going
enter
in.
together, we leave together.
Right. You have to kind of jump, right? It is 2 feet off the ground.
Mhm.
And so as you land on a gravelly slope. And the particulate matter that making up this gravel is mixed of ash gray and just glassy obsidian ground into basically gravel. Not too far from where you are, perhaps 100 feet, is the shores of this massive natural lake that appears to be churning or frothing or bubbling. You can hear it. It sounds like, when you've got something on the stove and it's just simmering and there's just a nice bubbly kind of background noise. That sounds like that, except on a much more massive scale. And then you can see in the very far distance beyond the lake a collection of tents. That's about all you can see.
Okay. Mara's gonna take a nice deep breath of the fresh hell air. What can I tell what layer we're on?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I think. Ooh. I feel like this is something that you would know intuitively,
Okay.
right? So I'm thinking either.
Douglas firs.
I want to say, let's make it a charisma check.
Okay. Just a
Something
straight
is
up
part
up
of your
charisma?
nature. Yeah.
Sure. Oh, that's good. That's That is a 22.
Yeah, so you would guess by the smell of the air, and you know that lake, that you are in the border marches of Bel's realm, B-E-L.
Border marches of Bell's Realm. What layer is that out of the...
It is, it would be the first layer.
The first layer!
Avernus.
Oh! Right around the corner from home. Perfect.
Right.
That's the second layer.
In fact, as Myrrh looks to what she would know as the planar east, in the far, far distance across a plain of just powdered red dust, you can see the first foothills of the mountains of Gehenna.
Okay.
So that's where you're at. You are on that border between those two plains.
Cool. I will turn around, give a little, like a slight bow. Welcome to the border marches of the first layer of hell.
You're the welcoming committee.
Well, it seems today I am. It's probably better than some of the welcoming committees you would find here.
Okay.
To the east, we have the scenic mountains of Gehenna.
So we're in hell?
Yes,
Okay.
the first level.
Oh, yeah.
This realm is ruled by Bell.
Okay.
Let's see. Should probably look for...
We see any like giant beasts flying around carrying our lizard friend?
How far out from the portal do y'all start exploring?
Guys, got a question for you. Should we go in subtly or with force and authority? You're a cop, Blue, tell me.
Blue is really kind of second guessing his immediate and impulsive decision to go through the portal. But in response to that, he says, I'm a cop. We should...
Technically, you're the fuzz.
I am...
Yeah.
Oh, let's follow some clues, fellow officer.
Okay.
Oh.
Yes.
Want me to shake down the locals?
Perhaps you should exercise a bit of caution when
Yeah.
shaking down people here.
Yeah.
All right.
We don't have any way to track her.
Well, I don't. Well, first off, she's your ranger, so usually she would do the tracking. But some of you, are trained in. If you're proficient in survival, you know the rudimentary techniques of tracking someone, right?
I'm gonna survive, Jim.
Yep.
Yeah, you'll survive. As you guys are gathering your bearings and determining your course of action, Ikki finds herself quickly approaching the tower. It grows as you approach it on the horizon, and you can get a better look at it, and its battlements are decorated with grisly trophies. Skeletons hang from gibbets and chains, and there are tattered banners all around it. But it's a remarkably small tower. The closer you get to it, it's really only what looks like maybe 2 levels, and not particularly impressive. There are great big, what look to be chunks missing from it, and it doesn't bear any other ornamentation or decoration. You look like you're going to be getting to it pretty quickly. Are you still just leaving a vomit trail?
How close to the ground would you say we were? 30 to 20?
Let's see where we find you. You'd say you're 20 feet off the ground.
Yeah. So her tummy's getting kind of empty. But she will, as they swoop and swerve closer to the ground, she's gonna go ahead and take a second and toss Skitter Step onto the ground.
just like to shout out, thank you, Demon Unicorn, for the sub. Appreciate it. Okay, so you are. I'm sorry, you've got Skitter Step out.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna be free.
All right.
Just gently on the ground.
Okay. Skitter Step lands.
Awesome. Yep. That's pretty much her. She's out of ideas. She is not an intelligent lizard.
All right. So she releases Skitter
take
Step.
him, like, she's never been in the plains, so she's just gonna try and like memorize as much as she can, but she doesn't know where directions are here.
You've had a good opportunity to sort of see the lay of the land, and this is a place that seems sort of, I mean, in a way, oddly familiar. It seems desolate and lifeless. Far to what would be your left, you can see these massive thunderclouds, except instead of the flashes of, say, green and purple and yellow, like lightning on the world you're from, you instead see hot, like fire, flashes of orange and meteors falling from the sky.
Do I recognize the types of creatures that are like skeletons? Do I recognize what kind of like skulls and stuff they are?
They appear to be humanoid, at least in shape, but their skulls bear horns and other ridges, things like that. Yeah.
All right, so nothing that she would recognize as like someone who would belong to the Fellowship or anything.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah. As you get closer to the tower, the creature teleports again, and you realize that the effect on you, this is the second time you've been brought somewhere with it, is not instantaneous, and for a brief flash you see yourself passing through a sort of shadowy world of specters and apparitions and the like, until you emerge inside the tower. You can see out of the windows. Looks like perhaps you're on the second floor. It's the only floor with windows. Inside are several iron ballista, just like with barbs and wrought pieces to them. They look like just rusted machinery of war. The creature you're with, still grappling you, walks down a flight of steps to an unadorned room, square, perhaps 20 by 20 feet. You can see that there is one door on one of the walls. It opens it up and shoves you in there, closes the door. Everybody else, you're getting your bearings. Was anyone looking for tracks or traces of Ikki using survival?
I was.
Okay, give me that survival roll, Blue.
Take it with advantage. I'm a good tracker and I can assist you.
Okay.
If it's what.
Yeah, you can get the help.
Blue is completely out of his element and rolled a 4 plus 4. 4 plus 4, so 8.
That was with advantage?
Uh-huh.
All right, yeah. Blue is attempting to find something. Give me a direction give me an idea of what direction you're looking in.
Straight out of the portal. Like we went out of the portal, there's the mountains ahead of us, right?
You find yourself looking for signs and clues somewhere, and quickly find yourself at the shores of this lake. You get a better look at it, and you see that just below its surface are millions of writhing grubs with the faces of people, right? You can see eyes, noses, but they're maybe about as big as a forearm, and in terms of just size, and they're just writhing. And as you are churning up the water, as you're on the shore, you can see further down the shoreline to the west, there are several figures on stilts that are wading in the shallows of the lake with big baskets on either side, grabbing up great big grubby handfuls.
Would Baloo know what a petitioner is, or that concept?
You can. The Fellowship teaches that there are outer planes that that souls journey to after they are done with life. But the world you're from hasn't had a stable planar cosmology for as long as anyone has been alive. And so this world that you find yourself on now is, this connection might not last. You don't know how long. So you know that there are souls and that they go somewhere, but as to where that is, it's difficult for you to know. No one in the Fellowship has a good answer.
Here's a question that Gildan would ask. Is there anything my wise woman would have taught me?
Aha.
Your wise woman taught
Have
you.
I seen this place? Yeah, there's a chance.
Right. That's another good question. I'll leave it up to you if you've seen this place or someplace like
I'm
it.
gonna roll 10 or higher. I have 13. I have seen this place once or
Okay.
twice.
Okay.
We'll roll a d4 to see how many times. I've seen this place 2 times.
Okay. You're familiar with it. You know that your wise one is known by many names on many worlds, and that she walks between worlds as a person might walk a grassy meadow. And so she's taught you much about them. You know that the things in this lake bear a description of a type of infernal or fiendish larva that is used as a both a food source and a currency on the lower planes.
I'm going to say, yeah, they're just getting breakfast, right? Like, we'd be like, oh, they're getting breakfast. This is completely normal.
They're taking
Right.
out notes.
Yeah, they're looking for the choicest ones, the juiciest grubs. So Gildan and Baloo are on the shores of this lake. How about Ellie and Myrrh?
You said the village is on the other side of the lake, and it's a big lake.
Correct, yeah. This
Okay.
was more like a collection of tents.
Okay, yeah. Tents.
From this distance, it's hard to tell. They're flying flags and look like banners. It's difficult to tell what they would be, but the configuration bears the resemblance of a ducal hunting party.
Okay. So, like, nobility kind of thing, and then with the automaton was... Okay, yeah. Myrrh would probably be like, so it looks like a hunting party of some sort over there. Perhaps there is one of the nobility here that we may petition or speak to. See if they have our friend, or perhaps know anything about or has seen in passing the one who does have Ikki.
Should we go now?
If we cannot find any trace of her, I mean, that would be my suggestion.
And is Baloo close by?
They're about 100-ish feet away down by the shores of the lake.
He's just staring at the lake, just kind of like shocked, not moving.
Oh.
hmm
Do you think
But-
Let's
Go
go
on.
check on them. Just staring.
All right, so y'all meet up with Baloo and Gildan.
Have you found traces of Ikki? He's...
Blue doesn't say anything.
track line of sight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is your first time seeing the grubs, the larva. No?
Yeah. mhm. He doesn't say anything. Jim, can he hear them?
Can you
this
hear
is-
what?
The grubs.
They're making a tremendous noise. The whole lake is frothing and churning and
Are they speaking animal or people?
well, that's a different matter. Do you get one close enough to listen?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Gildan most definitely gets close to one to listen.
Okay.
I might even try to fish one out.
All right. Okay.
I can show you the best way to eat one. If that's what you guys want.
How do you fish one out?
I still have Ikki's net.
Okay. All right. Got Ikki's net.
Come
Baloo-
on, grubs.
Yeah, Blue is about to reach in there, but he'll watch Gildan kind of in shock.
Dangle
Okay.
me over, Baloo. Hold
All
my
right.
ankles.
All right.
This can only go well.
This can
My
only go
skirt
well.
hole.
I think this
no.
is a dexterity check from Gildan.
Got it. Uh, 19.
Hey.
19 gets it. You unspool the net and drag it back, and almost immediately as you pull the net out of the water, several of the grubs in it break free as the net bursts. And you can see little wisps of like smoke coming off, but there's enough of them that got on shore that you can scramble them up.
Yeah. I'm dragging one, grabbing him right under the head of his humanoid face and running him up to land. And like, all right, I got one for you, Baloo.
It's wriggling like a fish out of water, and
I'll
just
wrestle.
slimy and it's a giant forearm-sized grub.
So it's about half gilded size.
It's about half Gildan's.
Yeah.
It's like, what's that river monster show? It's like Gildan went noodling in hell for. And Baloo, Gildan's got a grub.
I like try to speak to it. I just like make a sound. Just one
Okay.
syllable.
It's just one syllable.
Just one syllable.
It doesn't seem to have ears. It's just like face, and it's but it's otherwise like it's gnashing. It's got these like teeth that are like just points, right? And it bears a distinct face. You can see that they are individual faces on this.
Two things are going to happen. One, Baloo is going to officially become a vegan. And two, Baloo is going to switch from chaotic neutral to chaotic good. And three, he might vomit a little bit himself.
All right.
Gildan's gonna try interrogating his grub. Who's in charge?
Do I understand it?
I'm
It's
speaking out of my waist witch
Okay.
speak now. Come on, get your brain together. Get your brain together. Yeah, cha to you too.
Mur knows it's sort of
Okay.
it's
So
like
you
that
mean
is too
particularly tasty that they fished out. Like
Yes,
a
Mur, eat 'em.
cold, juicy one.
there's
Do
some
it.
that are juicy.
Yeah, I've probably eaten these before. Honestly, you spend a decade in hell and stuff happens.
Right.
Thing I wasn't proud of.
Yes, Mur can pick out some choice ones.
Yeah.
And they're considered a type of delicacy, and
I'll
the
just put
others
them
are
in my
just
bag.
scrawny. Yeah.
No, don't carry it. No.
Save it for later.
Oh. Oh man.
Wait, are we eating fish now? Weird fish?
Would you like a bite? I don't know how it will affect.
Yes, Ellie. They're delicious. Have a soul grub.
No, last time you gave me some food,
Don't do it, Ellie.
really gross.
Don't do it.
Almost threw up, so no thank you.
I'm wiping vomit off my chin. Don't do it.
Oh.
Yeah. Blue is
Are you
and
feeling
all.
it? What's wrong?
I think it's a person.
Oh.
A person is a strong word. It's more of a soul grub. And grub means food.
They are
What-
high in protein.
It's soul food.
What's
We
that
haven't
first?
had a lot of calories.
What's that first part though? Soul. What's that first part? What does that mean?
Well,
Bottom of the
I
chin.
could write out a very long contract describing the technical terms in this plane of what exactly a soul is, but it would take quite some time, and we have a missing person.
We do. All right. Well, you know the
All
way
right.
around here.
I'm dragging my soul grub by the
Depending
tail.
on who you ask, it is currency, it is
And
food.
I'm trying to track Ikki down.
All right, what direction are y'all headed in? We've had a suggestion from her to go check out the ducal hunting party that they might know. It would be a bit of a walk.
I'm trekking over there.
Okay, then let's have Gildan make me the roll. If Baloo wants to help, you can. Meanwhile, back
Please
at the
help,
tower.
Baloo.
I'm gonna munch on my snack on the way there.
I'll help.
Baloo, if
I'll
you're
help.
helping, we got a 19.
Oh, nice.
Yes. I was helping.
We'll figure out what happens with that 19 here in a minute. Ikki,
Yeah,
the door slams shut behind you,
Okay.
and you find yourself in a room with a soft orange yellowish glow, very warm and pleasant. There are a variety of couches and chairs and little places to put your feet, green plants with flowers and exotic colors that you've frankly never seen before, and the air has a pleasant aroma of is that 2-day-old meat that's been in the sun? It just feels very inviting, like come and have a seat and take a load off. And I need Ikki to make me a charisma saving throw.
Okay, I didn't know that I was going to be getting lizard brain checks. Oh, okay. Ikki came to play. That's fine.
Yeah.
Where was this? That's not terrible. Oh no, but she gets a negative. Oh no. Yeah. So that's a 15.
You have just a feeling of overwhelming euphoria washes over Ikki. The colors of this room are vibrant and seemingly alive. The smells delight your senses. You can taste the meat on your tongue. And Ikki is going to have a tough time with doing anything that's aggressive or, violent, anything like that. You just feel like, what a pleasant place to be.
This is delightful.
What a delightful place.
I can't believe I put up such a fight.
Right. Turn the corner and food, drink, the like. So yes, that's what Ikki finds herself. What do you do?
So there is food. Like, do I see it? Do I see food?
It's on great platters. It's like under chafing dishes, right?
Okay.
There's like you lift up a tin and there's
no sign of anyone else in here?
Correct. The place, I don't know if you've ever... Let me see if I can conjure an image. I'm not sure if you've ever found yourself in an open floor plan office where there's where everybody has their own... It's there might be an order here, but it's sort of disorienting, and there's a couch here and a tray there and a plant here, and sort of everywhere you turn there's stuff that you can't get a full picture of the room at any one time, so it's a little disorienting that way.
Okay, so she's not really sure how big the room is or whether...
Correct.
Okay.
Or where the light's coming from.
Or where the light's coming from. I was going to ask that. So like, yeah, she'll walk over and like take a look at stuff, and even though she's not aggressive, she's still a wild animal, so it's like, okay, what's on this plate? And then and since she can't really decipher anything else, she's not even going to think about trying the door because she's an idiot.
Make me a wisdom check. You can use or survival
Okay.
if you like. Survival.
Yeah, I'll do that. That was a nat one, so
You can't find the door out of here.
yeah, no, I have no idea. I'm just like, oh, I turned around and there was more food, I guess.
Yeah, it really, literally,
Awesome.
every time you turn around, there is more food
Okay.
on tables that it wasn't there before.
Yeah. Yeah. She's never seen this much food, but I guess she's just not going to really question it, and she is going to eat some of it.
Okay.
She's going to like grab like a handful and just like eat it.
Ikki dines on hellish meats.
I thought you just said that Ikki dies, and I was like, well,
No save.
Ends the death with the food right there.
Dines. There is an E there. Or an N. There's an E in
Okay.
both. Come on, Jim.
okay, yeah, she dines on this hellish food, I guess.
Okay.
Eat her for 6 months.
There is as you feast, you can feel a warmth at your chest. Not a pleasant, sunny warmth, but a hot, creeping, burning warmth.
Like a Danger Will Robinson warmth?
Yes.
Oh, this is unfortunate. Ikki's gonna go ahead and drop whatever's in her hand.
Okay.
Just
You
kind of
set it
like
down.
toddler, just like...
No. Yeah, you have a sensation of it. Briefly, cutting through, enough to cut through what you now know is some sort of fog in your mind, clouding your judgment.
Okay, so I just have like a sharp like pang of the amulet telling me, maybe don't. Maybe let's not. Is it enough for me to try and examine the room again? Or am I just like freaked out?
It cuts through briefly, and then you have maybe a moment of I don't know, panic or
Okay.
clarity, and then it's back.
Oh,
this
that's fine.
sort of
Yeah.
euphoria.
All right, I'll go back to the brain sleeping bag then, and just kind of like gingerly like pick up a different piece and be like, okay, well, I'm sure this is fine.
Maybe it's just that one piece.
Yeah. Do I recognize any of the plants or anything? Have I ever seen anything green?
I mean, you've seen things green, right? There's greenery in and around Trade Town and along the rivers, but the flowers, I don't think you've never seen flowers like this before, in colors that you've never seen vegetation in, and like these are like sort of rainforest orchid type flowers. They're
Okay.
beautifully complex and delicate.
Okay.
Our would-be rescuers, as you leave the shores of the lake, sort of trying to determine which way to head next, Gildan hears a funny sort of commotion, a lot of high-pitched arguing and the like. It's coming from north.
I'm trekking north. I'm gonna put on my best pink face, glow a little, and start singing the song of the waste, making my presence known. I don't want to surprise them. They might shoot me.
They might shoot you. Gildan puts on his war paint and heads north. Does everybody else follow? What do you do?
So north, away from the direction we were originally going towards the tents.
Correct. Yes.
We're not going to dissuade him or stop him, so we'll follow. But I'm going to use thaumaturgy to make my eyes all fiery, because I'll blend in even more than I normally do.
Now, at the first sight of another creature in front of me, I would like to cast the hide action and cut everything off.
Okay.
I just hear the whines. I don't see anything yet.
Yeah, the ground here is rather broken and rocky, and you can see, it at first as a creature, roughly spherical in shape, with long, spindly arms and slender claws and like squat little flappy feet, go flying through the air. And with sort of like kind of noise as it splatters on a rock nearby, and you can hear more of this sort of kind of noises coming from just beyond a ridge where you're at.
Well, I think this is where I'm going to leave my soul. No, if I feed them the soul grubs, they're going to follow me expecting to get more, and we don't have that many.
You never feed a stray cat.
I'm going to head back in the direction we were originally heading, but I kind of want to keep an eye to see if I'm being followed.
You don't appear to be being followed.
All right. I don't want to deal with those guys. Probably end up being turned into a Gildo Balden.
Gildo Balden.
All right.
My legacy.
Yes. So, Gildan comes back.
I stop heading back towards him and then lead the way towards the tents.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm following her now.
Okay. You guys head towards the tents, and you're skirting the shores of the lake, right? You kind of have to do just a bit of a detour. As you're walking along the lake, the ground becomes flatter, and you gain a better view of sort of the surrounding area. This lake stretches on for what seems like maybe miles and miles, but not too far from where you're at. Perhaps another 300 feet or so, there's a small island just off the shore, and on this island stands a lone leafless tree. It looks blackened, it looks dead and decrepit, but you can tell that there is a figure hanging from that tree.
Could we see what kind of figure got hung?
You'd have to get closer.
Oh, it's on an island.
Not that far, but it is on an island, yes.
We'd have to walk through the grub farm. It's like, I just mentioned like a field of rice paddies, but instead of rice paddies, it's little grubs.
Yes. Additionally, I need everyone to make me a perception check.
Oh, okay.
So the difficulty for this
Nat
is
one.
15. Gildan doesn't see anything.
Nope.
I rolled an 8.
17.
17. About for Ellie.
7.
7. Baloo sees it. You see the creature that you fought not moments ago circling around somewhere to the north and then flying back through the portal.
Back through the portal?
Correct.
About how far away?
Well, at this point, y'all are about 300 feet away from the portal. Y'all been walking for a while. You're quite a bit of ways away from it.
Am I allowed to attempt to make a deduction based off of circumstance? That would be an investigation, I think.
Yeah, that's
Essentially,
kind
I'm
of
trying to establish that Gildan wouldn't immediately chase after that thing. I mean, we'll see how I do. I deduce nothing. Essentially, if that thing's empty-handed, my assumption is he dropped her off at a prison, probably maximum security. We're gonna have to scale like the Tower of Skulls or something like that to free her.
Baloo is gonna scream at the top of his voice, "Get back here, you bastard!"
Okay. That's a good way. You're a ways away. Baloo screams. The creature does not seem to notice or care.
Everyone nearby us.
Yeah, there are some creatures on stilts that are along the shore that look up, and they're sort of like cowled and ragged, and it's sort of like, it looks like they've got maybe hooks or something on their forelimbs, but they look over at you and regard Baloo for a moment before going back, picking their way along the shore.
Baloo just kind of has like rage moment. He throws some gravel.
Yeah.
He just kind of stomps around like an ape, just for a second.
Fulminate.
Yeah, and then he's okay. He just has it was just like a 15-minute fit.
Okay.
Oh, there's a bunch of red sand too, isn't there?
Yeah,
Right.
eventually, yeah.
I'm gonna get a compact, like an almost empty compact out, and then like scoop and like put it back in. Makes great blush, just
There you go. Perfect.
top that off.
What could go wrong?
It's almost out.
I'm assuming I'll continue on your way.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You continue passing by the hanging tree, and make your way further south towards the encampment. Now, this encampment is not small by any stretch of the imagination, and by mortal standards, this would be a large army of some sort. Myrrh would know this to be a simple, like a Sunday outing for these people.
Like a picnic.
Like a picnic, yes. If it's a hunting party, then, they're probably hunting some of the many just beasts that live in the borders between planes. Those, rootless creatures that inhabit those liminal spaces. There is pennants and banners flying all over.
Do I recognize any of them?
You recognize them as the personal sigils of, let me get my own NPC name right here, Femius. I'll put that in our backstage. A member of the of Belle's court.
Okay.
So not like the top infernal noble around here, but not someone to trifle with either.
All right. Cool. I will inform the rest of the party. Like, oh yeah, this is so and so's camp. We are approaching the hunting party. Appears to be a nice afternoon outing of Femius. He is a noble of Belle's court. Not very high ranking, but higher than most.
Anyone have any thoughts on that?
What does that mean?
I'm trying to figure out how to cause the least offense, because all my instincts are like, offend!
Offend! We probably should try to not offend, if at all possible. Especially if, either if he does or does not have Ikki. We would hate for her to come to any harm from foolishness.
Okay. I can do that.
You can do that.
So basically, be very charming.
Be very polite and respectful. People on this plane are very law-oriented, very much status and ranking. They're not very chaotic, if that makes sense. There's a certain way to go about things, and they go about it that way.
Okay. Polite. __.
Making your way forward, you eventually see a trio of figures approaching you from the camp. They're kicking up great big plumes of red dust. At this point, the ground is sort of this mix of obsidian gravel and this fine red powder that's blowing in out of the space between the planes. And they're kicking it up. They're riding some sort of steed of some kind, maybe, but it's difficult to tell. They'll be on you soon enough, but there's still time to act.
Okay. Myrrh would probably stop and let them approach her as to signal that we are not here to be aggressive in any manner, just saying hi.
Okay. What's everybody else do?
Okay.
Ellie's probably just making sure she's not. Sorry, there's a lot of barking going on. There's a lot of...
It's okay.
Oops.
But that she's just very proper, and she's gonna try to figure that out
Gotcha.
as much as she can.
I've been just real quick gonna break in. I have been told that if WebDM reaches its Twitch subscriber goal, which I should know what our Twitch subscriber goal is, that our very own TK is going to write some Gildo Balden fanfic. That is the ship of Baloo and Gilbert, of course.
50 Shades of the Shire. There we
Yeah,
go.
y'all gonna make me a millionaire. I'm gonna sell it on Amazon. Be the next E.L. James.
Right.
I'll film the fan film.
There you go.
Oh,
So
There's-
let's
100%.
let's see if we can get 10 subs. Is what I'm hearing from my people, and I have people. I really like that I have people. Everybody should have people. Let's get 10 subs, and if we do, we're gonna get that Gildo Balden.
Can Grant and I do the audiobook?
Sure.
Yes.
Guys,
Yeah.
take it
Y'all can
away.
even do the sound effects if you want.
That's
I'll,
fine.
I'll let you have that.
Squiggly doink.
Yeah.
Squish, squish. Flappity slap.
All right, this is great. You find it's going to be a silly one for me as well. You find 3 riders approaching on hellish steeds. Their armor and bearing reminds you of a roach. They appear to be insect-like humanoids of some kind with multiple limbs, grasping lances and wicked swords and hammers and the like. And they ride up to you on these snorting, skinless, furless, equine sort of creatures with blazing puffs of fire coming from their nostrils. And they draw up around you about 15 feet away. They draw up in a line, not they're not trying to flank you or surround you in any way. The middle one carries a banner or a pennant with a pendant on it. Sorry, bearing Femius's sigil, and looks at Myrrh, who he says, "I am Daz." It just sort of chitters out between its mandibles in
What
infernal.
language is in infernal? Okay.
In infernal. I am Daz, herald of my master Femius. State your business. Why do you approach?
Greetings. I am Myrrh, servant of Vailira on the level below us. We approach to inquire as to if any of you have seen a companion of mine who has gone missing.
The herald Daz replies, "Did it come through that portal over there?"
It did indeed.
It wandered in?
It was rudely taken from my encampment just on the other side of the portal, and she'll go on to describe the cyborg demon.
The herald listens patiently as you go about your explanation. Protocol demands that you come with me.
But of course. And then she'll turn around, and as we're kind of following, she'll explain she'll basically have translated the conversation for everybody else.
Mm-hmm. They let you keep your arms. No one has to give up their weapons or armor or spell focus or anything. And Daz,
or their physical arms.
or their physical arms, for that matter. Daz leads the way, but the other two take up flanking positions alongside the group, sort of getting you in the middle of a cockroach person triangle, and lead you through the very regimented, very I have to close this chat. My players are attempting to derail the session through humor. They lead you through a very regimented camp of neatly put together tents, and it's an army on the march, essentially. And
Sunday
bring
outing.
you a Sunday outing, right? And they cut through the heart of this gridded encampment to the center, which is the tent that you saw furthest in the distance, a great big banner flying over it. And inside is where Daz, the herald, leads you.
All right.
Ikki, tell me how much you've gorged yourself
Oh my god. It's
in the time that you've been in this room.
It's probably, how long has she been in this room? Can she tell? Okay.
No, you have noticed now that you've been here for a time that you've seen the trays and platters of food moving, and something is bearing a pitcher which refills your drink, which is it is literally whatever Ikki thinks the most pleasant and delicious drink she could think of is.
Oh, okay.
So there's something in the room with you, as far as you can tell, something animating these objects.
Ikki is definitely one of those creatures that like eats about until she's a little over unpleasantly full, and kind of just like chews on stuff after a while. Like she just tastes things because she just gets bored eating. She's probably up and like walking around tables and just like looking at couches, like touching them and just putting her hands on everything. Is it stone walls?
Other than that one wall you came through with that door, you haven't found another wall in here.
So it's just like
ferns and couches.
Okay. So she definitely doesn't see any windows or anything. How high are the ceilings?
It looks like the ceiling's about 20 feet high.
Okay.
It's plaster and decorated in an abstract sort of geometric motif that repeats itself over and over.
Yeah. And when she looks at the couches and stuff, can she discern whether, I'm sure she can, whether what type of person these couches would be made for, if they are made for like lizard folk of her size? Yeah, anything with like tails, things like that.
There's places to put your tail quite comfortably.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's mostly just kind of looking around. I assume she's still so like happy about this place that she's not super worried about it. She's mostly just curious now.
You turn a corner and there's someone sitting on a couch opposite you.
Oh no. How small are they?
They're small, much smaller than Ikki. Perhaps just a little over Gildan sized, actually. They have a deep crimson skin tone with a lustrous and long black ringlet beard that comes down like almost like a curtain of perfect curls, well oiled and groomed. The hair and a tight curl itself brought back and wrapped up in some sort of ornamented bun in the back. You get a kind of masculine vibe from the creature, but it's got his eyes outlined in kohl of some kind. Robes are gold and black, jewelry all over. Amulets, necklaces, bracelets, rings, earrings, the whole thing.
Okay. So she wouldn't compare this creature to like Lang or anything, but would she compare it to like Myrrh?
Perhaps, yes. Yeah.
Okay, so it's got like a similar smell and everything.
Yes.
Brimstony.
Brimstony.
Well, why do you think she wears so much perfume? It's to hide the slight brimstone that comes out when she gets all sweaty.
Right.
Nice.
Greetings, Ikki. Do take a seat.
And Ikki's just kind of like, no, I will stand. I am fine this way.
Very well. You may call me Akmenos. I had my servant bring you here because I am curious as to what lies beyond that portal. And he sort of awaits to see what your response is.
Okay. She'll kind of like walk near the couch and like look around it to see if there's any hallways behind him or anything.
Okay. You feel on your 2 no's, you've told him no twice, yes?
Yeah.
Both of those times, you feel that fire at your chest. And you feel that burning heat as it roasts against your scales.
Is it more than just like the spike that it was? Is it like lingering?
It's like it's calling out to you. You can feel the heat piercing your chest, trying to reach your heart.
In a bad way? Like in
a way that feels dangerous and empowering.
Okay. Yeah. So she's definitely going to make a dumb decision and assume that that's like, yeah, like keep that shit up. And
you like what do you like describe to me sort of how do you like give into it? Do you sort of focus on it and try to
she starts focusing on it a little bit more, and her stance starts becoming a little bit more like kind of haughtier or defiant, since she doesn't notice that he's taken any, like, he's not like Gildan, who immediately gets defensive when you sass him.
He doesn't. He seems utterly in control.
But at the same time, it doesn't seem like he's irritated that she's acting like this.
Right.
Petulant.
Yes. There is a seeking sensation in your chest. You can feel something foreign seeking your inner being. And as you stand there listening to Akmenos, you hear a third voice or thought, not your own, but it's in your head.
Okay. Do I recognize it as typically the amulet in the way it feels? Or is it completely foreign?
The amulet's never spoken to you, but the sensation is similar.
Okay.
Before, usually it's like an instinct or an impulse or just a fleeting like flee or safety or something. This is a voice. Ikki, give in to me, and I will give you power.
And she'll just kind of focus again on Akmenos and just be like, why am I here?
You are here because I desire information. I mean you no harm, as you can see. And he gestures with a well-manicured, but definitely taloned hand. The portal opened up a short time ago, and merely desire to know what is beyond this thing on my doorstep.
Ask.
Where do you come from?
The wastes.
Where are these wastes?
Outside, under the stars.
Do you have a name for your world? From where you're from?
The wastes. Sometimes there's the wastes, and sometimes there are houses in the wastes, but it is all wastes.
And give me an idea of Ikki's surface thoughts.
Her surface thoughts are very much like, this has been going on a really long time. This is a lot of talking. This is more conversation than she typically has ever. And the only person who ever talks this much is Gildan, and at least he has funny stories. So
Tell
it's
me
like
about
a lot, and she's tired.
Tell me about Gildan.
He's on his way.
Akmenos asks you about Gildan.
And she thinks on him. She's like, speaks, never silent. Small, green, smells.
Interesting.
Don't take it personally, you all smell.
I understand. And Is Gildan your leader or associate?
And Ikki does that thing where she's practicing laughing again because she thinks that's hilarious. So she's just like, ah! No, the horned one is our leader.
The horned one. And I'm assuming you're thinking about Myrrh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then tell me about Myrrh.
Smells like you. Smells better.
Huh. Interesting.
Heals with an open hand.
And she's here as well? With you?
I am here with you. She is not here.
But she was with you earlier before you were brought here.
Yes.
Well, perhaps you would do me a kindness of bringing them here, would you not?
Why?
And let's see. I very much desire to speak with them. Conversation is all I'm after.
And she's like doing like mental math in her head. Fiend brings Ikki once, brings Myrrh once, brings Gildan once. That is 3. Why doesn't Akmenos come to us?
Well, I'm afraid that is out of the question. I do not wish to leave the comfort and safety of my home. And besides, you were the ones who were trespassers here. It is very dangerous outside as well. Is it not pleasant in here? Inviting?
Pleasant, but not home. I was home. Now I am not.
Interesting. All the while, I need, that this has been going on, I need Ikki to make me a wisdom saving throw.
I would love to fail this. Like everything else I've done in my life.
Did you not win again?
No, but I'm gonna be mad. Yeah, it's a 10.
All right. And you can feel this sort of magic creeping up through you until you find yourself utterly enchanted with this individual, Akmenos. And any feelings of defiance or aggression towards him just melt away. You are under the effects of a Gesh spell.
Oh no.
I'm cool with it. Frankly, she deserves it.
While under the effect of this, which lasts 30 days unless dispelled, you are considered charmed by the creature, by the caster, and all the effects that come with that. In addition, if that caster gives you a quest or a directive, you have to follow through with it or take some psychic damage. Yes.
Okay, yeah. Ikki's definitely getting very sleepy and like very compliant in that case.
Okay. And it claps its hands, and out from a fern steps another sort of cybernetic fiend of some kind, augmented fiend. Different, though. Its one arm, instead of being a cylinder with an aperture at the end, is instead a metal grasping claw kind of thing. But it has the same sort of metal head with a single eye and sort of a furry, kind of half fur, half skinless, monstrous creature sort of build. And Akmenos looks at Ikki. Do accompany Hathas and bring your companions back here. And at that, the fiend picks up Ikki and heads towards the door that's just right there. Just like right there.
Whoa.
We'll see what happens in a minute. Everyone else, I've forgotten everybody's name. The rest of the party.
It's on the overlay.
Right, it is on the overlay. Thank you. Oh my god, it's right there. You were brought into this big tent, right? And it's like one of those where it's like a tent inside of a tent, like a turducken tent kind of deal.
Tentception.
Tentception, yes.
Tent inside of a tent.
And the cockroach humanoids, two of them continue to they stay outside in their honor guard post, but Daz brings you in, and Master, I have brought the travelers to you. And seated at a chair with his back to you, large map on a dark wooden table. There is you see an arm at first, just obsidian in color, right? Just charcoal, and stands up, and this creature is perhaps 12 feet tall, great big sweeping horns coming off of it. Its head is bald, but you can see it has sort of like scaly ridges running down it, as well as the horns. And the features on it look distinctly draconic as well. Its skin, as you get closer, is actually a fine scale. And Femius sort of turns in these, ducal regalia that he wears, fine robes and fabrics from the plains, and looks at Myrrh and in infernal. Greetings, Myrrh. It has been some time since we have crossed paths, yes?
Yes, and she'll get responding in infernal because it's polite, and then giving a nice deep bow or curtsy because she's a dress girl.
He
it
returns.
Has been some time indeed. It is a pleasure to see you again.
Of course, always a pleasure. Pray tell, what brings you into my master's realm?
Well, I'm sure you have noticed the portal outside. These people that are with me, we were on the other side, and one of them was quite rudely taken from my presence and brought somewhere on here. Unfortunately, was not quick enough to see exactly where. And she'll again describe the demon, or the devil, that made off with Ikki. I was wondering if perchance one of you or your men had spotted such a interesting happenstance.
He listens patiently, standing beside his chair, idly, sort of clasping his hands together. If I had to guess, it would be Akmenos. North of the portal is his tower. I have not seen a fiend such as you describe, but I know that he is practiced in the arts of automata and vivisection.
Thank you. This information is most helpful. She'll give another curtsy.
You understand that information cannot be freely given.
Of course not. What is your price?
My price is a opportunity for you as well.
Mutually beneficial is always my favorite cost.
Of course. My courtly rival, Krada. I fear that he will one day make a misstep or a poor decision. And should such a time happen, I could use someone there to push him over the edge, to persuade him on an ill course of action. Nothing dramatic or overt, but subtlety is what I need.
That is my specialty.
It is fortuitous that we have met today. And in that, he finishes his exchange in Infernal and turns towards the rest of the party. I hope that you find your stay here agreeable, and understand that it is only the company you keep that keeps you from joining the ranks of my legions.
Yes, all-powerful devil, and I start really hammering it. Yes, we are so grateful for your mercy. Oh, sorry.
Can we do that too, Baloo?
Yes.
Is anybody join Gildan?
We are so honored.
We can. You can do what you need to, Ellie.
Yeah, just awkward bow.
Yeah, that works. Yeah.
An awkward bow. How about Baloo?
I'm not sure if he would actually bow. I don't think he would.
Okay. Baloo does not show any deference.
No.
Note taken.
I'm just telling you.
No.
I just tell you, even if Gildan's sarcastic, he's a goblin. What's that to a devil? But he will remember my devout display.
He accepts without irony Gildan's display as a genuine show of deference, as well as Ellie's. Baloo he gives a fiery stare to for a moment before walking around the table, and there are attendants and all sorts. You see more of the insectile humanoids about, but there are other creatures besides cruel imps and gremlins and the like scurry through the room, delivering messages and bringing, waiting basically on their betters. And he seems kind of not in a hurry, and sits back down in his chair and says, Myrrh, I do not have need of you as yet, but when it's time to move against Krada, I will call on you. Until then, you will find Akmenos' tower to the north. But do be careful, he's quite crafty.
Excellent. I will be awaiting your call then. Have a most pleasant outing. And another bow. And whoop. Come on, guys, let's go. And then
Yeah, bow. There's a Myrrh on out of there.
And I'll be like, I'll explain about Akmenos and his crafty ways.
Okay. So you make your way back through the camp, escorted by the two honor guards. Daz is still, stays with his master. Let's see what happens next. Ikki. Back to Ikki. Ikki finds herself just... Your head's foggy. Even after leaving the room, And you leave the room, travel back up the spiral staircase, and exit via teleportation out of the second story of this tower. You still feel cloudy and not quite yourself, but the euphoria has worn off, and instead you feel around your mind and your being a prison of magic, limiting your actions, forcing you, coercing you to do this bidding of Akmenos. The pleasant feelings of cooperation have left you.
Now I am the one who is snared. No. Ikki's mad, but what can you do? Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's kind of
angry,
like
stopping to do the orders.
Yeah, she's not like I don't know. She's a little irritated. She's more irritated with herself at having been caught than necessarily angry at him, because she just assumes that it's his nature, like most animals.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess she's just kind of like hanging out with the flying cyborg demon. Question:
yes.
When she dropped Skitterstep with the intent that it rejoin the party, how far do you think Skitterstep got?
It's been a while. And following Skitterstep would have probably followed the vomit trail back to the thing to the portal, but you didn't fly that far.
Okay.
You were probably only in the air a couple of minutes. And Skitterstep's quite agile. And
he has the same movement. Movement speed I do. Hopefully, was not eaten by a soul grub, but
I mean. Yeah, I mean, you haven't seen a soul grub, but they're about evenly matched. Sure, I bet Ikki has the edge, actually.
Yeah.
Or sorry, Skitterstep.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, so I guess she's hanging out right now.
Okay.
She's not super talkative, so they're not like listening to tunes on the drive over or anything. So.
Right. As you're flying, and you're approaching the portal. You sense that the fiend changes course, and instead of heading straight for the portal, veers off slightly to the left and starts flying over the lake, rather low. And it's around this point, having left the camp of Femius, that the party walking along the shores of the lake sees a fiend, winged, with the same general sort of silhouette and profile as the one that they've seen before, flying towards them.
I have a second question. Do I still have my weapons? Did I?
Your weapons were never taken from you.
Okay, so...
You just were like...
I guess I just like put them in my pack while I was open fist eating. Okay, that's fine. I'm just making sure.
Gotcha. Yeah, you still have your weapons with you. How about everybody else? You see this fiend flying towards you.
Isn't that the one that
of the devil? Sorry.
Blue's gonna turn to Mur and be like, so can we kill this one?
Yes, I believe that is the one that took Ikki. Do we see Ikki chilling with the flying demon?
As you get closer, yes, indeed, you see that in a large grasping claw that's grabbed a hold of Ikki's harness, that she has, that it's kind of flying at you.
Yeah, the snort. Yeah.
Party hard.
And lands in front. We're about 40 feet away.
Mur's gonna look a little confused. Like, this doesn't normally happen when you get or devil snatched. Like,
correct. Yes.
Something is odd about this scenario.
Ikki is gonna go ahead and already be taking out her last net.
Okay.
That's how she's gonna bring the party back.
I mean, it's gonna take one of you. honestly, he really only asked for 2 of you, so
That's true. He only asked for 2.
she's gonna look at Ellie and Baloo and just be like, "You should run."
You should. Ikki, were you with Akminos?
How would the Gaius let her answer that?
So you have free will,
Okay.
except when it conflicts with the orders that Akminos gave you. So if you were to like just be like, no, I'm not going to go after my friends, then you would suffer damage.
Okay.
But
That's
there's
fine.
nothing. It didn't really specify how you should go about doing this task.
Okay.
So you can still talk. You just know that your actions are bound by magic.
Okay. Yeah. Ikki's not a great liar, so Ikki's just going to say yes.
What happened with Akminos?
You told me I have to bring you.
And so you are doing this.
Yes.
Why?
And she's already like, nets out.
Yeah. Where's just
He has food.
there is food back in the wastes.
Not his food.
There is some good food here. I'll just kind of gesture to the lake.
You will like him. He talks like you.
Jim, while this is going on, I'm going to attempt to hide. I'm going to try to slip around, and I want to flank Ikki. Is the big bad demon still there?
Big bad demon is not moved from where
Devil,
it landed.
sorry.
Devil, yes. From where it was 40 feet away from the group. So it's just standing there, poised for
probably-
action.
Yeah, it's gonna
Yeah,
get mad
Ikki's
if I-
just gonna look at Mur and be like, get in the net.
Do we have to take the net?
No.
Well, then let's put that away. Why don't we?
No.
No. Where's like I don't normally handle people like Ikki.
How about Baloo and Ellie?
I have a 19 to stealth, by the way.
Okay.
Trying to get out low. Yeah.
Are we supposed to go with her?
I mean, no, but we might need to.
You can leave or you can die, but I have to take them.
You have to take who? All
Yeah, who?
specifically.
And she just like points at Mur and then like glances at the horizon. She's just like, shit. And she's gonna turn to the fiend and just be like, well,
in your mind, you hear the fiend speak to you in a sort of sharp, harsh, just like, obey the master's wishes.
I don't know where he went.
So you can't see Gildan, is what you're.
I assume that he's hiding. So he got a 19.
Yes.
He wasn't watching him.
Yeah,
Just looking at Mur.
Gildan's, he's slippery like that, and if you lose sight of him, it's easy to lose track of him.
I'm a good distraction.
Yeah, so yeah, you can't find Gildan.
Now, why did he want us to come with you? You said there was food. Is he trying to fatten us up for a feast? Is that what is going on here? That
And
sounds
Ikki,
like
like-
this is what is going
Absolutely.
She thinks on it actually kind of hard, and she's like, he would have eaten me first.
All right.
I don't think I get fatter.
All right, Gildan is
This is what I'm thinking.
yeah.
Now, out of character, how much metagaming is around? And I only ask that because I don't want to ruin everyone's fun.
I don't mind a small degree
Okay,
of metagaming
so-
personally.
So, my question for you, party, is: do you want to go with this fiend, or do we want to not be taken? Because if no one here is averse to going back with Ikki and going to see, Old Man Scratch, Beelzebub, whatever we want to call him. Amadeus. Let's there's no reason for me to cause Gildan shenanigans. However, if people are willing for Gildan shenanigans, I'm kind of silently getting my soul grub ready. I've got my hand over its mouth. I'm swinging it like a bolos. I'm going to try to wrap it around the demon's eyes.
Yeah, I don't get to fight alongside a devil very often, so honestly, if you could humor me for 5 minutes, that would be awesome. My personal selfishness. Because I feel like this is a Power Ranger villain.
H morphing game.
like I'm the Green Ranger right now.
Make my mushroom grow. Yeah, we've got to convert you.
Yeah.
Well, to land that, I got an 18 to soul grub Chuck.
Okay.
Yeah. Merce
I'm just trying to.
intent.
Hopefully, it splats and just slimes on its eyes. Just. And I'm gonna hide as a bonus action.
All right. Let's get some. So a grub flies out of the darkness. You got an 18 soul grub. You got an 18 to hit.
Those are delicate.
And sails through the air, landing smack hitting the. It's one eye, right? It's a cyclops demon, devil, fiend, and hits. I need initiative.
Okay. And I did get, as a quote bonus action, a 19 to hide after that.
Okay.
My initiative is nowhere near as high, though. It's a 6.
6.
Oh no.
Save a sheet.
I got a 15.
All right, we've got a 15. Anybody beat a 15?
7.
16. Ellie's got a 16. How about Ikki?
Sorry, I had to burp. I'm drinking root beer. I got a 10.
A 10. All right. So in the initiative order, I actually got a 19 this time. So, and then that was Myrrh and Gildan. We got a 6. What happens here? That's a good question. The creature gets this soul grub splattered all over it, and it starts to wipe away its grubbiness. So initiative order is myself, Ellie, Baloo, Ikki, Myrrh, and Gildan. And as it does, you hear it speak some words in some arcane words of power. And then instead of teleporting away where there's a wispy sort of shadowy after effect, it instead just disappears. And let's see, Gildan, you had a 19 on your stealth check.
Yeah.
You see it stalking around the perimeter of where everything is in your general direction, but it doesn't look like it has spotted you, and it's wiping away muck and grubby guts from its metallic face before it disappeared. That's what you can see. That's my go. Ellie, it's your turn.
So he just vanished again?
The demon vanished, and Gildan remains hidden somewhere nearby where he was throwing grubs at it.
Okay.
I use demon in a generic sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he's gone now, we could just leave or not go back to the guy that Ikki was talking about.
When Ikki to chase them down with a net through the desert like wacky races.
Like Wile E. Coyote.
And
just hiding behind a demon cactus.
can I wave my hand to where he was standing to see if he was invisible?
Yeah, so you want to try to see if you can spot where it is. Yeah, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Sure. Perception. 18.
18?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can see it's not making an attempt to hide itself in any way, conceal its presence at least. You can see where it's stalking through the sandy gravel and and you can it's a giant big demon thing with hoofed feet and all the like, so you can see the impressions of where it's sort of stomping around in the gravel. You can hear it snorting, so you have a good idea of where it is, but actually seeing it exactly is obviously impossible.
Okay, I'll probably just be on the defense.
So you take a dodge action?
Yeah.
Okay. That's that. That's Ellie. Baloo.
Baloo is going to I think Baloo is going to fairy fire again.
Okay.
This might hit Ellie.
All right.
But yeah, he's going to just
might hit Gildan as well.
He might hit Gildan. Okay.
It's 20 by 20.
Let's get some saves, guys.
What's the DC? I got a nat 1, so I failed. I'm blowing.
That's what you get for that witch joke. Ha
Is it a dex save?
Take that.
Yeah, it's a dex save.
Yeah, it's a dex save.
Murray, you know what to do. We've got this.
Oh,
She's
you
12.
know.
10.
Okay.
Dex save is an 18.
Murr wouldn't have been in the affected area. Just the two of them. What was your DC? Was
12.
12. Okay. I should probably roll myself. Gildan's allies, Baloo's allies, Ellie and Gildan, erupt in the purple pinkish flames of Baloo's fairy fire. But the fiend, wherever it is, remains unmarked.
Okay.
Is it burning us?
No. By the way, can you cancel spells in this edition?
Like ones that you're not. Like there's counterspell, there's dispel magic. If it's a spell you cast, I mean, if you're concentrating on it, you can just cease concentrating. But I think otherwise it lasts its duration, unless it's dispelled with a dispel magic.
Okay. Then confounded, I will do nothing.
Okay. Baloo casts his magic and then stays where he's at. That makes it Ikki's turn.
Quick question. You said that it has been a little while. Is the aid spell still in effect?
Yes.
Okay. Just checking. I wanted to put it in the notes. Yeah, so Ikki is pretty much going to go straight for Myrrh because she's one of the two people she's been sent for. Okay. She chose a net over weapons because he said he wanted to talk to them. So correct. She understands that the parameters are Myrrh and Gildan alive, able to talk.
Okay.
So she's just gonna she's gonna is this red sand?
There's red sand mixed in with the obsidian gravel. Yeah.
Can she burrow here?
You can burrow here, yeah.
100% gonna burrow. Yeah. Yeah, she's gonna go ahead and burrow that. How close is Myrrh?
As close as Ikki would have got. The demon landed 40 feet away.
Okay,
and then
yeah.
I don't know how far.
Yeah. With my new feet, I can do that 40 feet.
All right.
And so that's going to be a movement, and then she's pretty much gonna come up and try and drag Myrrh under.
Okay. In that case, let's see. Net is where do we have here? Yeah, I think you just need to hit with it, and then a larger or smaller creature is restrained until it's freed, which is a DC 10 strength check or dealing 5 slashing damage to the net.
All right, you want me to go ahead and roll?
Yep.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see whether or not would you count that as an attack?
Yes, that is.
All right, good.
That is an attack.
Because if I miss, I can, because of my feet, I can use a free action to run away if I have to.
So Ikki burrows down, pops up near Myrrh, and makes her attack, trying to ensnare Myrrh in the net.
Yeah, I got 21 with that, so.
When Myrrh's AC is 15.
So since I hit, I'm going to go ahead and run that 40 feet back. to where I was towards the tower, even though the devil isn't like he's vanished, but
Right.
hopefully he'll get the memo.
So Ikki burrows, grabs.
Burrowing towards the tower.
Right? Do I have that right? You're burrowing.
She's not going to burrow with Myrrh.
Okay.
I don't want to imagine what the math for that would be, unless I can. Can I burrow with Myrrh? Or is that like a whole thing?
It'll slow you down.
You would have to burrow.
Myrrh will slow you.
No,
Myrrh
she's gonna use her full 40 then.
Okay, so you pop up,
Why?
grab Myrrh in the net, and begin to move away from the group back towards the tower.
Yeah.
Myrrh, it's your turn.
Well, this is unexpected. I imagine Myrrh just standing there trying to reason with Ikki, and then all of a sudden it's like a mole, and then pop, like somebody, like a stripper out of a birthday cake, just right there with a net, stabs me and starts running.
Man, what kind of birthdays you been to?
What kind of birthday cakes have you not had?
Sadly, none of those.
Yeah.
Into backpack.
Is gonna be caught very off guard and perhaps a little bit not as smooth as she normally is. Ikki, did you sign a contract with this fiend? You do not have to listen to him. We must stay here or leave. She's gonna basically, and if Ikki just doesn't answer, she's gonna be like, why don't we all just calm down? And I'm gonna cast calm emotions.
Nice. Yeah, does Ikki answer at all as you're carting off with the first question?
Not really. She doesn't really have anything to say. She's not sorry, so she's not going to apologize. She's kind of disappointed because she feels like Myrrh would do the same thing. So, thought we had a rapport here.
So I am going to rule that so Gesh is normally only removed by a remove curse, a greater restoration, or a wish, but the charm condition removing effect of calm emotions, I'm going to say it removes any charm compulsion of the magic, but the overall spell is still there. So any affinity or affection or attraction maybe that Ikki would have felt that the Gesh spell imparted by being charmed is gone, but you still know that if you don't obey, you will suffer consequences for your actions.
Okay, so instead of like some manner of loyalty, she feels the knowledge that she will be physically punished.
Yeah,
that doesn't change. And then she's still running then.
Okay.
Myrrh's just gonna sigh.
All right.
She does feel a little bad though, since Myrrh like held that position before Akmenos, and now Myrrh holds that position again. So she's kind of like, well, I mean, as sad as any lizard can feel.
Gotcha. All that happens. It's Gildan's turn.
Well, as I said in chat, I was hoping Myrrh would cast suggestion on the devil, tell it to marry her, then I would cast ceremony to marry the two of them together. Then she would have a devil husband. But
20 subscribers, I'll write that fan fiction.
I know, right?
Boom.
I was gonna ask Baloo to bring the ring because he has the ring and present it as the ring there. I had it all planned out. But with that said, I'll get back to playing Dungeons and Dragons. So Ikki's booking off with Myrrh. The devil doesn't necessarily know that I hit it with the grub. I might try to help it out. So let's see. I'm going to I'm a horrible liar. That'll never work. Yeah, I'm coming out guns a-blazing. How far is Ikki from me?
I would say from where you were at, you were kind of hanging back, that Ikki's about 50 feet away.
All right, so I'm going to move 20 feet towards Ikki. I'm going to attempt to Thorn Whip her. What's her AC? I see it as 15.
Yes.
I got a 16 to hit, so that'll do it.
All right.
So she's going to take a little bit of damage, not even a lot, 2 points of damage. But I choose to pull her 10 feet in front of me, and then I'm planting myself on her.
Okay.
And like use the rest of my moves. So now she's got a Gildan all up on her. Yeah.
All right.
And a net, and then a Ikki and a Gildan on top.
Yes.
All right.
Can I? Oh man, I can't use a free action on his turn. Never mind.
No.
No, but I can use a bonus action on mine.
Because I was gonna say, man, I wish I could call out to that devil and have him pick us all up.
It is my turn next.
Since it's your turn.
Gildan, you have a bonus action?
I don't think any good ones, so I'm just going to not use them.
All right. Yeah, indeed. The fiend sees what's going on. Gildan nearby, Ikki with Myrrh, and it goes over. And let's see. I'm going to attempt to grapple Gildan, who is not fairy fired, or is fairy
No,
fired?
I am.
All right.
I'm fairy fired.
That is going to be a 29 to grapple.
Well, I got a 10.
It just sort of reaches down and snatches Gildan right up, and with its other giant claw, its metal one, its strong hand, it reaches over and grabs Ikki by the back of the harness and attempts to fly away. However, it is it's carrying three of you, even though Gildan's only a beefy 35 pounds. It's severely slowed, and it only gets about 10 feet off the ground as it tries to fly in that first little bit. So Gildan is grappled, is otherwise holding Ikki, and Myrrh is in the bag held by Ikki, who swallowed the fly. It's Ellie's turn.
Me being that fat really worked out for you guys.
Ellie was in melee with it. You would have gotten an attack of opportunity as it walked out of your melee range.
Okay, perfect. Then I'll probably aim for his foot with my great axe.
Okay.
And
wait, is it visible?
Thank you. It's not visible. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Yes.
Oh, sorry.
I was like, I totally forgot. You would have, but I did it right the first time. My bad. Sorry, Ellie. You do not see it as it leaves. Okay. All you guys really see is Gildan being lifted up in midair.
Sorry,
Ikki being lifted
Question
up.
about Fairy Fire. Would I have gotten a dex save?
You would have, yeah. You would have gotten a dex save, I think DC 12, Josh?
Yes, DC 12.
Dex save 18, so if we could go in the Wayback Machine. Just curious, because I didn't get to save.
I would have gotten a 22 with my original attack.
All right. Yeah, I still got a 10. But
so
I'm just glad I'm not glowing.
We rewind.
Man,
not glowing.
I would have. The whole reason I revealed myself from my hiding spot was, I guess I was trying to save Myrrh. Wouldn't have mattered.
So Ellie, it's your turn. My bad. You are where you are.
All right.
So we just see them basically fly or float
about 10 feet off the ground.
Guys, I didn't know you could fly. We could have maybe used this earlier when we were exploring. And then I'll just walk next to them because she's so oblivious to what's happening.
So you're just kind of like following after them?
Yeah.
Okay. Baloo?
Baloo's like, wait! And starts chasing after Ellie.
Okay. So Baloo and Ellie are chasing after this thing as it starts to take off and fly.
Jesus. Yeah, I was going to take Earthbind, but I didn't.
Oh, that's all right.
Okay.
Are you doing anything other than just walking?
I mean, as far as like stopping them, I don't think there's a ton I can do. In fact, I probably just helped it with the fairy fire.
I mean, it just passed its save against you, so. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so. But I'll keep pace with Ellie.
Okay, yeah, you can easily keep up with it. It's not flying that fast.
Okay.
Ikki. It's your turn.
Ikki's having a delightful time. And by that, she kind of feels like everything really sucks right now. She's feeling a little bit of guilt from that calm spell. Kind of wants a nap. Thinks this is all taking a while. Just wondering where Skitterstep is. He's useless.
Skitterstep is just like, I'm trying.
He's probably like on the other side of the larva lake, just like, hey.
Hey guys, wait up.
I miss you. Yeah, she's just kind of like holding on to the net. She's not, since her affinity has been lost and she kind of feels like one of two is acceptable, she's not holding that net super hardcore.
Okay.
It's not really her fault if something happens to it, but
Gotcha.
you know, she understands that there are future consequences, but she's not like hardcore like she was before.
Okay.
Yep.
So you're only like half-heartedly attempting to capture Mur at this point.
Yeah. She's not like actively trying to let her go, but do her arms droop a little bit the closer they get to the ground? A couple times.
Sure. So if you're not taking any action, we can move on to Mur, but that's Mur will have advantage on any sort of checks that you make to escape the net if you want, because Ikki's not, her heart's not in it.
Yeah, it's not my fault. I mean, they're not great nets. If anything, that's an OSHA thing.
Just the craftsmanship here. Just awful.
Get a gun union.
Myself.
Well, you know hell would have that kind of thing.
That's right.
Absolutely.
This isn't the Abyss.
Yeah,
Right.
come on. We're
What do
organized.
you think we are?
Right.
Yeah.
They love regulations.
Frankly, I don't know what he expected.
That's a good point.
We're getting closer to this tower fortress thing.
I mean, you at this point, y'all are still barely made it off the ground.
Okay.
This is you can
so I
see
wouldn't
Ellie and
die
Baloof.
from a fall.
You're only like 10 feet off the ground.
Yeah, Mur's gonna try to get out.
Right, so that's a DC 10 strength check.
Well, I'm not strong. At least it's just a strength check.
Which you get advantage on.
Okay, that's a -1. So, the first one. Ooh, that's
Come
a
on, we're really
15.
lowballing this
Yeah.
for you, Mur.
Well, 15 - 1, so 14.
Mur wriggles herself free and it falls. Actually, it's kind of a nasty fall. Mur takes 6 damage, and I do believe you would have been under the influence of an aid spell, which would have given you 5 temp HP.
Okay, well that's not.
That was what.
Just trips out of the net.
Yeah, sort of like the bottom of it kind of opens up underneath you as you're struggling to get free,
Ikki's just kind of like, oh no.
and you fall ungraciously and ungracefully, not gracious, gracefully, in the sandy gravel.
On
of hell.
reflex, I look to see who all saw that. Like, nobody saw that. I play it cool. I like roll out of it. I'm like, everything's fine.
Everything's perfect.
Looking good.
That was my action. Yes. To escape
Yes,
the net.
that is your action.
With
correct.
my bonus action, I will inspire Gildon. I will, because I just fell. I'm not gonna get out the whole sitar, so I'll just pull out like my tambourine and kind of just like clap it and say, "You've got this, Gildon. Just everything will be fine."
All right.
Gildan's turn.
I got an 18 to attempt to escape the grapple.
You also have inspiration, so that's a D6. If you
I got a 19 to
with
oppose.
inspiration, I got a 6 on using my inspiration for the check. So that would be 18 plus 6, 24.
And unlike Mur, Gildan lands on his feet, taking only 1 damage. Assuming you are attempting to like fall. and not like clamor on or still be attached to the fiend.
No, I thought about trying to counter grapple him, which would have been the same roll, but then his move would become 0, and he and I would be in a wrestle to the death, which he would probably win.
Correct.
Yes. So
Gildan falls then.
Okay. How far do I fall?
You fall 10 feet, take a damage.
Okay. 1 damage.
Yes.
I'm going to attempt to use my bonus action to hide. Not great. 7.
Just kind of like lays flat as soon as he hits the ground.
Yeah. Little crater. He's in there.
Can't see me.
Wear him away. Use my full move to wear him away.
As you try to worm away, this thing, noticing that both it's lighter, right? Myrrh has escaped and Gildan is wrestled out of its grasp. It turns around and sort of roughly shoves Ikki out of its grasp, and telepathically you can hear a "Do your bidding" sort of command at you as it is inside your head. And it is going to, gosh, I'm afraid that it's got a particular, he's feeling a lot of aggressive feelings towards Gildan.
I got a high armor class and no hit points. What could go wrong?
Yeah. Let's see.
I did not roll that high. All right, what's he got? What's he got for me?
Uh-oh, we all switched places.
Happened again.
What's that?
Oh, my camera popped out. Sorry.
That's all right. Let's see. What is it doing? It is approaching Gildan, and this time, instead of immediately attempting a grapple, it slashes out at Gildan, and I got a 22 to hit.
That'll hit, yeah.
Yeah. And let's see. For 9 slashing damage.
All right, 9 slashing. That'll do 9.
As it just like angrily slashes out at you. That's with its big hand, and then as it comes in with the other, it attempts a grapple. And on that one, I got an 18.
On that one, I got a 9. So,
all right,
I've lost two heats of this wrestling match.
It's going to end up in a slap fight. That's the end of my turn. It's Ellie's turn. The fiend is on the ground. It's got Gildan in one hand, and is looks like it's turned back towards the group and is just like not playing any more games.
And I can see him now, right?
Actually, you can see Gildan floating in midair.
Okay.
Woo!
Gildan, I mean, you could just come down here. You're just a little way too high up, and it's weird.
Quit playing around,
He's
Gildan.
like legs kicking and all this other stuff.
I was just gonna yell over, the creature is invisible!
Oh, he's invisible?
He's carrying Gildan while invisible.
Oh, that's interesting. I go over and like touch to make sure.
She snorted again. That's like the 5th one.
Yeah.
Snort count 5.
Oh, baby.
You're not trying to harm it, right? You're just trying
Yeah,
to
no.
find where it is. And yeah, you can. It's big and not particularly interested in defending itself. You know, it doesn't get out of the way, but you can feel it right there in front of you.
Okay. And he's walking.
It's stationary right now.
Oh, okay. Sir, please let go of my friend. You have bamboozled me once, but you won't bamboozle me a second time.
Okay.
Does he say anything?
Yeah, you can just hear this guttural, and you realize for a minute it's not audible. You just sort of know its thoughts in your mind. It's just out of the way, insect.
I'm actually not an insect. I think the term is human, which a lot of people find me weird, and I don't know why, but I might be the only human.
It's
But-
just like
Now, is he right in front of my face, or
you can
I still
feel
can't?
its breath, and it's
Okay.
sort of.
Does it smell bad?
It smells really bad. Yeah. It smells like a wet dog
Oh.
in hell.
Sir, there's a thing called cleaning your mouth. It's mostly with like mint. It's like a mint tea, and it's like the perfect for mouth stuff. And just set my friend down, please. Don't want to hurt you again. And I like take out my great axe.
Okay. You cannot hurt me. Get out of my way. And it doesn't have an action, but it would. You can feel it trying to like swat at you,
Yeah.
or raring back for a hit.
Okay.
So do you want to do anything?
Yeah. So when she takes out her great axe, she's just mad that this thing isn't doing what she wants it to do, and she's gonna get a little bit angry, and she's gonna be like, "I said, let go of my friend," and then she's gonna go into a rage, and she's going to go into a frenzy, and then she's gonna aim for like where his eye or nose, like this area, would be. So I have advantage. Oh. Okay, cool.
Well,
cool,
he is
cool.
invisible, so I think.
Yeah,
it
you just
cancels out.
hit. Yeah, the disadvantage cancels out the advantage.
Oh, okay, perfect.
But you do get 2 attacks, right? With frenzy.
Yes. I got 24.
24 hits.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. And then. So that is 16 damage to his face. And oh no, I recklessly attack is 2 hits. Not
Okay.
per- But can I
Okay.
still recklessly attack? Or that's-
Well, you can recklessly attack. That's how you get rid of the disadvantage for it being invisible.
Okay.
So that's that. If you're recklessly attacking, it's obviously going to get advantage to hit you, but you don't have to deal with the invisibility penalty.
Okay.
But I think you do get a second attack when you frenzy. Like you can use a bonus action to get a second attack.
Nope, that doesn't hit.
See,
That's a 12.
12 does not hit. You connect, but its tough hide and thick furs prevent injury. Your first hit, though, you can tell was quite solid and unexpected. This thing like reaches into your mind, connecting with you telepathically, just mocking you. Ellie reaches back, hits for 16 damage, and this thing howls across the lake and the gravelly sand, a howl of pain and anger.
Perfect.
Ellie's turn. It's Baloo's turn now.
Yeah. So how far away is this thing? I mean, obviously close enough that Ellie.
You guys are like within stepping distance of it. This is
Oh, okay.
all right in a tight little cluster.
Okay. Should I turn into a giant crocodile and like literally throw myself on it? Or
Saltwater croc.
yeah, I mean, I couldn't attack in the same round, so I mean, like literally throw myself on it. Or should I hit it with fire? I'm gonna hit it with fire for now.
Okay.
I cast Flame Blade yet again. I will hit it this time. And well, I mean, maybe I will. Let's roll. So I get my purple sword out,
Okay.
and I got a natural 20.
Natural 20 hits.
Oh wait, I have disadvantage, don't I?
Correct. Yes, you do.
Is there any way that I can retroactively get rid of that?
Get rid of the disadvantage.
No. Yeah.
No. You can try it fairy fire again
No, it's too late.
instead. It's too late.
I probably did hit though. I got a 17.
A 17 does hit.
Okay. I'll take the 17 down.
Okay.
And again, ignoring any resistances. Yeah, I'm gonna do 12 damage.
12 damage. It's all fire damage.
It's all fire
Right.
damage.
All fire damage. Baloo comes in, purple sword blazing, and strikes out at it. It's difficult to tell exactly what happened, but I do think Blue might have seen Myrrh give a bit of a concerned look as the attack was coming in. It's difficult to tell whether you connected, and you know that it would have been a telling blow, but without a visual on it, it's hard to tell how effective your attack was. Game terms, it might not have resistance. It might have an immunity.
Okay.
Ikki, unless Blue's got a bonus action, it's going to be Ikki's turn.
No, the bonus action was
Flame Blade. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Ikki.
Sorry, I had to update the notes real quick.
No worries.
I promise I'm paying attention. I just also had to type a sentence that was Ellie pets the devil to make sure that it's invisible. And I was... I love Ellie so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Ikki, first of all, doesn't like its tone, doesn't appreciate it.
Right.
She's not charmed into wanting them captured anymore.
Correct.
Now it's just self-preservation. However, she's not going to assist them in not getting captured, but she's not going to like hardcore assist the devil in capturing them. So she's kind of just going to like walk over and hold the net up again and be like, Myrrh, get in the net.
This being hell, I will allow a letter of the law interpretation of the spell.
Yeah, I mean, she's not like super emotionally invested. I mean, she's a lizard. She's not emotionally invested in anything. She's not like, yes, I want them captured. She doesn't want to get hurt, but she also is like not super appreciating the devil's blaming her for what was clearly a malfunctioning item. It's weird, honestly, uncanny. Yeah, so she's just gonna be like, Myrrh, get in the net. We only need you and Gildan, so please get in the net. She's not gonna say please, though. That was me.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And just like kind of hold it out like.
I wish we could see how this devil thing was looking.
Yeah.
See? Probably annoyed.
Probably not injured at all. It's just like these little ants.
I have to do its bidding, but I don't have to do it enthusiastically.
Yeah.
Correct. So you are trying to convince Myrrh to come with you as opposed to forcefully.
Yep.
All right.
Trying to talk her into it.
That fulfills the parameters of the spell, so you take no psychic damage. And otherwise, it'll be Myrrh's turn.
Yeah, she's not going any harder than she has to. Okay. Like, she's kind of like prodding at it, being like, she's like the one retail worker that got called in on their day off and is like, technically, I have to help you.
Right. If you're gonna force me.
Bare minimum.
I want this like comic stripped out. Just get in the net.
Get in the net.
Gildan, get in the backpack. Into the net, Myrrh.
It's Myrrh's turn.
I am not particularly fond of the net. If I go with you, it will be walking. She's gonna kind of look at Ikki's really stubborn behavior, and that has not been super typical Ikki so far. So she's kind of being like, we might actually have to go and meet with this guy. Myrrh is gonna say in infernal to the devil, stop attacking us. I will go willingly, of my own volition.
Okay.
I will not be disrespected in this manner.
Gotcha.
And she's gonna hold her action for a dissonant whispers just in case, but...
Gotcha. You can feel its mind reaching out to you and communicating with you telepathically. Get this insect off of me and come quickly. And that's the only reply
She's
that
gonna
Mer gets.
respond. They are mine. And infernal, because they can't understand her. They are mine, and they will follow me. They will come with.
That is satisfactory.
And then Uncommon should be like, I feel like we are getting nowhere very quickly, everyone. Perhaps we should hear Ikki out and speak with this Akminos. She's more insistent than usual.
Okay. It's Gildan's turn next. Mer has made this plea to cooperate.
Well, Gildan is not very cooperative, and I got a nat 20 on my escape roll, and got so that would be 22.
I got an 11.
All right.
Yeah.
I gotta as I die.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to try to hide again. Please don't fail me, you stupid Chessex die. Hey.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Stop using that one.
And that ball moving away. Back.
Okay. All right.
He's gonna slap me again, isn't he?
An attempt to hide. What is it trying to do? It attempts to, but whiffs hard. Nat 2 plus my it's not gonna be able to hit you. You feel the hot hellish air rush past your back as you book it away from this creature, Gildan. Mer has attempted to convince everyone to take this creature up on its offer. Ellie can sense that it sort of rises up on its hindquarters as it's you're fighting with it, and in a voice that everyone can hear, an audible voice, harsh, metallic, it says to you in a very broken common, "If you do wish to obey my master, then come with me." And it makes itself visible, and you can just see its eye is just a burning red hatred.
And it doesn't look hardly injured at all, does it?
It's got a significant wound, a slash on it, that is, like a great axe wound. But where Baloo struck it, there does not appear to be any injury.
Okay, I would think that Ellie's still in her rage, and as he's kind of walking away, I'm still trying to whack him with my great axe.
Okay, so you're still in rage. You can tell that this thing is just barely holding back, and it wants to just rip you in half, but something is keeping it from doing that. So it doesn't do anything. It is attempting diplomacy, but Ellie is next in initiative.
We're like a bunch of kids, and the mom she doesn't want to whoop us in the grocery store. So Ellie's just throwing cereal boxes.
Right.
She's I ain't getting whooped right now. Probably when I get home, but right now, I'm the king.
All she needs to do is just show me her chancla.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, unless Smur says anything.
Mer would be giving you guys the look, let's try diplomacy, y'all.
Let's go with the drow. Let's go with the devil. I think you're in cahoots with Jim.
No, I'm really not.
That's a good theory. That's a real good theory.
Yep.
Yeah, so as Ellie's kind of trying to smack him with her great axe, she feels that stare, and then she kind of looks over, and then her rage.
And Mer's eyes are still
vanishes.
thaumaturgied and on fire, so it's a pretty.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It scares Ellie enough to just. I mean, whenever you're drunk and then something happens, you're like, "Oh, I'm sober now," like that.
Like that.
I don't drink a lot, but I'm assuming.
Right.
I've seen it in movies.
Happened to a friend once.
Right.
Yeah.
So Ellie comes out of her rage on Mer's assistance and doesn't make an attack. Baloo. You're muted.
I've been trying all over the place. And it's just like Blue wants to fight this guy.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
I feel you. Perhaps if the party were united and not having to deal with a betrayer in their midst.
Well, I can also
follow me to the tower parking lot. I just want to talk.
I can also only do fire damage. So
Yeah.
good use of that
We're
feat.
just gonna have a little chat with you on the walk over to the devil's house about that.
Yeah. Yes, it's only. I mean, you're not going to be in hell forever, right?
Yeah. No. Yeah. He keeps the sword up in case he has to hit something that is vulnerable to fire.
Surely, yes. And there's other creatures in hell besides devils. Lost souls, for instance, in the form of grubs. There is a tense moment as the aggression dies down. Now, how far? I'm gonna briefly. We'll step away from initiative order just to kind of give everybody an idea. Ellie's backed down. Baloo's back down. Ikki is, I'm assuming, making half-hearted pleas. Mur is doing her thing. Gildan, how far are you running?
Well, I would have been able to run 30 feet backwards, and I assume he ran right up and re-engaged me, correct?
No, he stood where he was. The demon did.
All right.
Yeah, it sort of heard Mur's, plea for diplomacy, revealed itself, but was clearly like, "Oh, I really want to fight you guys," and has allowed you to run off, Gildan.
Okay. Yeah, so I would have ran off 30 feet that round. Next round, I haven't quite decided what I'm doing. I'm probably going to aim a crossbow bolt at its eye. That, or I'm going to try to flank around Ikki and take her out, like attack to subdue, crack her kneecaps.
All right. There's plenty of broken terrain around here.
Yeah, I've considered just hiding and then tracking them to the tower and slipping in unnoticed.
Okay.
Little goblin.
Give me a hide roll then.
Ooh, 19.
Very nice. Yeah, you book it, and its attention is briefly focused on the group for a minute, as Gildan books it into the broken lands around the lake, and you think you've got a good hiding spot. And as you're hiding, a familiar face comes out of the gravel and the broken ground and makes its way towards Gildan.
So the
A skittering, skittering little beastie reveals itself from a rock.
It's like old times.
And makes its way up Gildan's arm. The rest of the party, the fiend turns back to you, and in that broken sort of, it's almost like it's just learning common. Accompany me, and there is a shadowy door that appears in the air in front of you. It has that same oily, wispy, smoky mist quality to it, and it gestures with its big, strong metal claw for you to step in to this portal.
We're gonna. She fell out of the bag rather ungracefully. She's gonna straighten her hair, brush off her dress, stride through.
Who steps in? Mur does? Mur steps. Ikki, Ellie, Baloo.
I guess it's not a good idea, but I mean, if Mur is in there and then there's like something in her that just nauseous, and then she'll like throw up before going in. I'm gonna need a second. I still don't know why I get like this sometimes.
The fiend just looks at you with contempt and just
You need to learn manners, okay?
gives you the stink eye. It's
And
the
I'll
only
walk
eye
right
it's
in.
got. So Ellie goes in. Ikki, Baloo.
Yeah, we're going.
You're going in.
Yeah. Ikki's gonna look around for that soul grub that was thrown at him earlier, and if she can find it, she's gonna pick it up and put it in her bag.
It's on the ground.
But when she does that, she's going to make a kind of show of throwing things out of her bag, and one of them is going to be one of the crumpled up pages of the Dictionary of Moo that she has left. And she's just kind of like toss it into a garbage pile and go into the portal.
Do you destroy my dictionary? It's my life's work.
You want the rest of it or not?
Well, you don't know where I am.
That's true.
That's true.
I would
portal.
rather give up the dictionary than betray Baba Yaga.
Fair.
That's conviction. We've got all of the party stepping through the shadowy door, save Gildan, who has remained behind and reunited with his boon companion, Skitterstep, bonded all those long day ago. And I think we're going to end it here tonight, folks, as Gildan is alone and isolated in a hellish landscape, and the rest of the party has walked through a shadowy door. You know those sessions where it feels less like an well-orchestrated and put-together production and more like a roller coaster that you're barely in control of? I love those. And tonight was a really fun one. So yeah, we're gonna end it here. Hopefully we will nothing too bad should happen, I don't think. Let's go around and see how everybody's doing after that ride. And Grant, why don't you lead us off, taking us out? How's
yeah.
yeah.
I hate to be an obstinate little pissant, but it's just my character. It seems like I'm that character in every campaign, though, so I think the audience is. But essentially, I had a ton of fun. Like, I really like our party. I like our party dynamic. I like that we're willing to compromise. Like, makes sense that Mir's like, look, we can fight this guy all day, or we can go and still have spell slots, still have resources, still have our wits, or we can get the crap beat out of us by a devil and go bloodied. But I had a ton of fun. So tomorrow night, I'll be running a game on Off the Table with my friend Matt Mercer, Laura Lania, Kiana Shaw from Starward Bound on this channel, and Marcy Valon from Monty Cook Games. We're running the Dictionary of Moo and Cipher System. Jim introduced me to the Dictionary of Moo. I actually put his name in the special things in the closing credits, so it'll pop up at the end. And it's an early birthday present for Pruitt entirely.
Awesome. Well, there you go. Let's go with Lindy. How does Myrrh find herself at the end of this session?
Confused. A little confused. But she's it's kind of good to be at least close to home, or her second home. She, devils, man. It's half her blood. She's loving it. She got a good tasty soul grub. That's a delicacy. It's so
quite
long.
The delicacy. There's nothing like it, really.
It's really hard to replicate that soul flavor. But I'm super excited to see what happens next week. Interesting dealing with Ikki. That's definitely not Myr's forte, but she appreciates the challenge. So Gesh is a hell of a spell.
Oh,
it is.
I cast it on the first episode I was on the Greyhawk channel, and the Dungeon Master was like, "Wait, what?
Wait, what?"
No, yeah. He sent his Death Knight up to us, and I'm like, "Ha!"
Nope. Nope.
That's awesome.
Nope.
It's gonna be super great. I can't wait for next week. I'm extra hyped, super hyped.
Excellent.
Love this place. You can find me online at LaughLoveLindy on Twitch and Twitter. All the good places, doing lots of Dungeons and Dragons, Call of Cthulhu, little Star Wars, and a little Firefly, all over the place. I generally post on my Twitter when I'm going live and where. Usually it's Encounter RP all day Wednesdays. There's a podcast, Tomes of Tentacles. I'm running out of the abyss on my channel. I'm here every Thursday. And then Friday is going to be, starting next week, Firefly on Grimjack21502's channel, followed by on Sunday, Pulp Cthulhu. So, super
There you go. Excellent. Josh, I know that that fire immune creatures for a pyromancer druid is a tough situation to be in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Been a little useless, a little out of place.
Come on.
No,
I know.
Fine. That's how it is. It's raw. It's live. It's raw. Yeah. So Blue is a little frustrated. That's about it. Josh is not doing much at all. He's over on Twitter at Beard for Charity, and he does art. Check him out there. You can get some commission action going, but I am closed at the moment. I might be doing some big projects coming up here soon.
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so we will keep an eye out for that. I like how Baloo is developing as sort of the moral compass of the party in some sense. Like,
yeah.
you can see Gildan being that role as well, but Baloo has a pure heart, if not a bit of a mischievous streak in him.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
That's good. Anna.
Hey, I had a great time. I love playing Ellie because she's so oblivious to things. And I don't know, it's a hoot. And I'm very excited for next week to see if this other demon is polite or not. So
yes, there was some pleasant conversation instead of bloody violence.
Yeah, exactly. Like any barbarian would like, or prefer,
sure,
you know,
absolutely,
politeness all the time. But you can find me online on Twitch at Cyborg Pizza. I play a lot of video games. Kitty, so cute. I'm allergic to you, but you're cute. I know. But yeah, and then places and stuff and things. D&D podcast, Wonder Quest, check it out. And also I take photos and stuff, so I'll post links or something. Yeah.
Follow on social medias.
Yeah.
Excellent. TK, here you are. Your Ikki survived.
Yeah.
Magically compelled still.
We did it.
And even survived a run-in with the party.
Yeah. I'm happy about it. It's a good thing that Myrrh was like the person that she kind of bonded with early campaign. Because I mean, like, she's concerned for Ellie's existence and everything, and had Ellie taken damage, she probably would have been really mad. But I think only Myrrh could like really talk her into just like begrudgingly kidnapping them. I like to imagine she's like Ka from the Jungle Book, and like Akmenos is Shere Khan, and like Ka knows that like Shere Khan could definitely murder him, but there's still like that sort of like, I do what I want.
Right.
As long as you don't know, it's fine.
Sure. What it doesn't know. It's not like it couldn't be scrying on you the whole time.
I mean, I'm sure it is, but she hasn't been punished yet, so
there you go. I had a blast tonight. It's always fun to sort of to never know where things are going to go, and the loops and tricks and obstacles that the players are going to throw at you. So I have a great time. This, of course, WebDM Twitch, and if you found us by some of our lovely players, we have a YouTube channel you should go check out. We've got a second YouTube channel, WebDM Plays, and I promise videos will get uploaded there for future viewing consumption. So keep an eye on WebDM Plays if you want to check out these videos later. Of course, WebDM has a Patreon where we do Monday videos, Friday podcasts, and the like. So check that out as well if you're interested in more. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for hanging out in chat and supporting the show in all the ways that you do. Excellent. And yeah, check us out on Tuesdays for Pruitt's Starward Bound. And otherwise, we will see you next week.
See ya.